Next guest is an artist and entrepreneur helping children learn, play, and grow through storytelling.
That's right. Susie Jaramillo, a Venezuelan American with a passion for all things Latinx, is the creative force behind Canticos. Canticos? Is that right? Did I say that right?
Canticos.
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 You know, here's the thing. And I thought it would be Canticos. But anyway, continue. The Emmy Award, the Emmy-nominated bilingual preschool brand helps children learn in English and Spanish and is loved by children, parents, and educators around the world. It was through Canticos that Susie ultimately grew her larger brand, Encantos, which is a children's educational and entertainment company that helps bring diverse stories to life. Susie joined us live this morning. Sorry I botched it up in the beginning, but welcome to New York Living.
No, thank you so much for having me, please.
Yeah, so how did this whole idea of Canticos come about?
Well, so it's, believe it or not, 26% of kids are of Latin descent, and yet only 4% of media targets them.
That's
so
crazy.
right there, exactly. So huge demand, and moms like mine, like me, like parents, like, you know, like Latino parents that are so many in this country, just didn't have any tools to like educate their kids around their culture, around their language, and so Canticos is meant to be a tool to help kids, you know, celebrate their language and help families kind of like raise bilingual, bicultural kids.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, you know, I just had this conversation actually with my fiance because she has a family member and young boys.
Yeah.
Basically, I think he's like 2 or 3 years old, and going through the challenge of, well, they're teaching him Spanish.
Right.
But not English. But
Yeah.
when do they jump in with the English? And I'm sure that's vice versa, a challenge. So something like this seems really important to get the kids on board right from the beginning from being bilingual.
So important. What people don't realize is that bilingualism has so many benefits for the brain, right?
Yeah.
So memory, focus, it helps stave off Alzheimer's. So, I mean, it's really, the younger you get them, the better. So we make learning Spanish and just loving the culture fun, right? Not a chore, which I think is so important to so many families.
Did you face any obstacles, though, getting this off the ground?
I think what people don't see is that it's Latin appeal, Latin feel, but universal appeal. So I think people don't realize that it's just such a wonderful sort of entertaining experience no matter where you're from, right? So non-Hispanic families love what we do just as much as Latino families do because it's pollitos, it's chickies, it's really cute.
Right.
So if you look at the world of Canticos, it's just a really beautiful, charming, new world of nursery rhymes that will really entertain your child and help them be preschool ready in 2 languages.
So I take it the reception to Canticos and Encantos has been positive all around?
So exciting for us. Out of the gate, Emmy nominated, 2 Kids Screen winning. Yeah, so like now we have a whole roster of sing-along videos on YouTube. Our music is phenomenal. It's on Spotify, Amazon. So just the popular appeal. I'll do events and moms will come to me and say, you know, thank you for making my child bilingual, which just means the world for me.
Oh, well, here's the thing. You talk about introducing this to younger children.
Yes.
Getting them started with the language. I have a 10-year-old who keeps talking about how she wants to learn how to speak Spanish.
Yes.
Can they get involved in this, or is that maybe your next step to get even to the older
So
kids?
Encantos is dedicated to, again, producing content that has Latin feel, universal appeal. We want people to enjoy our stories, our culture, and feel represented, feel seen by the wonderful stories that we produce. So we've launched a collection of books called Tiny Travelers that introduces kids to the countries of the world. We have Skeletina and the In-Between World, who's for older kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There you
so,
go.
you know, it's just a whole... There's obviously much work to be done, given the numbers, right?
Now you have children of your own. Was that
do.
part of the inspiration to get this launched?
Absolutely. I started translating nursery rhymes when my kids were like 2 and 4. And now my kids help out with the business.
Right.
So what advice would you give to
Speaking
other
of business,
entrepreneurs to launch their own business like
So
this?
the key thing about being an entrepreneur is just you've got to believe in it, and you've got to make sure that it really truly serves a need, and you're unifying what you do, what you love, how you serve, and how you can make money. That is the key to being an entrepreneur who can like withstand the challenges of entrepreneurship, I would say.
A mompreneur.
Yeah,
A mompreneur.
a mompreneur. I love it.
Although I don't do this alone. I have co-founders. They are amazing. Or another Latino family. We do this together. It's a team effort.
Very nice. And where do you see this growing? What would, in your mind, what would be the next step?
I mean, we want to grow. We want to be a huge studio business. We want to be right now we have a tech platform where there's a subscription app, so toddlers can learn and play in English and Spanish. We have a video component, so there's, you know, a ton of media that we're putting out on YouTube on a regular basis. There's a music component, and then there's a collection of books, and our books are, you know, School Library Journal, Star, Publishers Weekly, Star. They're beautiful interactive bilingual books. And so we want to grow this empire because people are leaning into pre-existing intellectual property, and there is no Latino IP out there really that's pre-existing. Yeah. So we need to make our IP and make our properties so that our kids can feel seen and represented as they grow up.
How wonderful would it be to have this introduced into a school system, the New York City public schools?
So they actually have taken on this. The New York City Public School, the New York DOE has bought into all of our books, all of our ebooks, because they know how well it serves kids. And my dream, honestly, is that my kids' celebrate these properties and that they kind of last longer than we do. Because that's what we need, is like just stories that last the test of time.
Wow. This really is exploding and growing in leaps and bounds.
Yeah. When you look at the numbers, if demographics are destiny, it absolutely serves a huge need.
Maybe you'll be in many more school districts all across the country.
That is my dream.
Now, you are an artist.
I am.
And how did that influence how you've made this product and launched it?
That's such a good question. I like to say that I make things. I make art. I make companies. You know, it's all problem solving at the end of the day.
True.
And no, that means that it's creativity that drives our vision, right? It means that we truly care about beautiful worlds that we're creating, right? And it's not about just making a buck. It's actually about creating something with love and with charm that just really parents just gravitate to and fall in love with.
Really, it's wonderful work that you're doing.
Oh, I thank you so much.
And thanks so much for coming in to share it with us.
No, it's totally my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.